at that. Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. In with Scott Schweitzer. We are in the Bakersfield Speedway segment, and
going to talk some dirt racing.
We're going to talk dirt tracks.
Yeah.
Get dirty here.
Yep. We're going to stay clean today, but
we're going to stay clean, but get dirty on Saturday. Well, you get dirty a little before Saturdays because you got to work with the track.
Got a lot to do, so yeah.
Yeah. So, but Saturdays when the dirt flies, as
Absolutely.
They say.
That's when we sling the dirt.
Sling the dirt. But you had a pretty busy last Saturday night, including race car rides, the annual race car rides, and we've got a couple of photos. Chris could just show those real quick, and look at if you look at this, look at the smiles on the faces of these kids in that car.
Yeah, it's a super cool deal. It's something that Doug and Johnny had started before I took over the racetrack, and we just try to keep it going, and gives the everyday fan, spectator a chance to go down. They don't really realize how steep the banking is on the racetrack and what the clay's like during the night, so it gives them a chance to go out, and we put a couple of kids or people, adults, anybody that comes down, put them in cars, and we got to thank all the drivers that come out and do it, and they take them around for a couple laps.
And they hit the throttle and get
No.
They just putt around.
Yeah, they just putt. We actually, it's two purposes. It gives these guys a great fun time, but we tell the drivers, hey, take them up high so it helps pack the track. We do a little track maintenance while we're giving rides, so
and you do
works
this
out well.
At intermission?
We do it at intermission, yeah. We get through all the heat races and B mains, and then we open the gates, and all the officials go down there and help the guys get the people in and out of the cars, and it makes for a fun time.
Yeah, that's a fun thing, and I think that first photo, they're just because of the angle and just the big smiles on the faces there.
They just don't realize. I mean, you're sitting in the grandstands and you look at the racetrack, and until you're out on it and walking in it or in a car, then you really get the real feel of the banking. Yeah, so it's really fun.
It's a good way to kind of repay the fans.
Yeah, and we do it, in August where it's hot August nights and the kids are get back in school, and and then we get a lot of kids out there, and it's a fun time for them. So it was another successful night of doing it, and we're really happy, and we'll do it again in 2018.
Yeah, and then you had a little bit of racing going on. I guess it was the second Motor City Throwdown United Series for sport mod drivers, and had a pretty good field of cars out there. I think 23, and look at this. I mean, that's a little side bite.
Yeah, I think that's that term, leave the left front tire at home because you don't need it. And I think Jordan Hager there took that to the extreme. So cool shot by Tom Mock, who always gets some great photos.
Yeah, so pretty good shot there. And he's got a couple others that he left his watermark on too. Because you know what? The sad thing is we show them on this show, and they end up on YouTube and whatnot, and then people go and take them and steal them. And
they just don't understand the time and effort and money that Tom puts into, or not just Tom, all photographers put into their work. So it's a shame that they do that. But yeah, I'm thankful that I have Tom that comes out and gives me his time and efforts and gives some, covers some great shots of the racetrack.
And then we got a winner here that Shane DeVolder. Where's he from? A young kid here.
Yeah, he's from up north. Been supporting the racetrack quite a bit this year. I know he's got Chris Severson working on the suspension on that car and the shocks. And the kid, the beginning of the year, you wouldn't have thought much of him, but put on a heck of an event Saturday night and a great run Friday night, and ended up walking away as the winner of round 2 of the United Series.
I was looking at the finishes, and I was thinking, okay, got Shane and Gary Jernigan had a pretty good run at both tracks. Lee Jensen, I thought, well, because there was passing points involved too, and not knowing where they started, I wasn't sure of who might have come on top, but I thought it'd be a good deal for Shane. So,
and totally my fault. As we're doing the payout, we're going to do a cash payout of the United Series, and I didn't know there was passing points Friday night. I thought it was still the same thing. Billy had posted it on his Facebook, and I don't follow him on Facebook, and I just didn't see it. So when we started to hand out envelopes, there was some people looking at us kind of funny, and I'm like, what? And Bruce Johnson told me there was passing points, and
so you had to recalculate.
So we had to do a quick, grab the iPhones out and the calculator, and we made it right. It took about a 10-minute delay there, but we were able to.
You just didn't hit Google and you got recalculate.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and actually it was Shane DeVolder's dad that came up to me and said, I think, because I handed him the second place money, and he's like, I think we should have won that deal. And then about that times when I found out there was passing points
without
on Friday.
the passing points, who would have won? Was it Garrett?
Garrett, yeah.
Garrett, yeah. So that's why I said I looked at the results and said there's passing points.
We were able to straighten everything out and jostle a couple of bucks here and there and make it all work, and everybody walked away with the right amount.
Everybody pretty happy?
Yeah, it was a great turnout. We're really pleased with it, and it was some good feedback. So we're got to thank Motor City and John Petrie for being involved in that and willing to put up the money for those guys and do it. So now we're gonna see what we can do with maybe some of the other divisions or something.
Yeah,
but
that'd be a good deal. You get some sponsors involved, help them out, and give guys a little something more to shoot for. Then you sent me results and stuff, and you had mini stocks second. So I said, okay, 26 cars, we'll go second with mini stocks.
Man, mini stocks, they're just growing.
Wow.
They're just coming out of the woodworks, which is great. And Don Lowe and myself were just talking about that. These are a car that really can't handle a big shot, and these guys wreck them. And you wondered if the inventory of cars were going to deplenish. And next, like you said, there's 24, 26 mini stocks rolling through the back gate. So it's pretty cool
right back up as high as it was to start the season, because you always get that roller coaster effect during the season. But it's back to it, and a familiar name in victory lane being Lonnie Spiller again. And so closing up the points a little bit, Jason Cook second, Steve Rourke third, David Wolford, and then Misty Warren with the fifth place finish. So
it was a great race. The 32X of Jason Cook was really pressing hard. I mean, if he had probably 3-4 more laps, we might have a different winner. So it's good to see. So exciting racing for the mini stock.
Well, that's a good deal, and to be main and everything for them, because lots of cars.
The sport mods we didn't. I just went ahead and started all 23 cars just because we had the racing and needed the time.
And here's something. This was in Tom sent me, and he sends them by order of divisions, and this was in the hobby stocks. This is something you probably don't usually see in hobby stocks, but that's not good.
No, and unfortunately, that's actually out of my nephew's car. So the 4 car of Jaden Schweitzer, which Jaden, but you know what? Jaden left Sunday for college. She's going to Fresno State. So Sean, my brother, didn't know how much racing he was going to be able to do for the end of the year, but after it decided to toss a piston, number 5 piston out on the racetrack, I think his racing's probably pretty much finished up for the rest of the year.
So the block on that car is ventilated?
Yeah, it perforated the block and laid a piston out on the racetrack, and it wasn't good. So, I mean, it was Jaden's, first year in hobby stock and was having a good run, but lost the motor.
That's that. Yeah. Bye motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Counterweight now.
Usually we used pistons for door stops, just to hold doors open. That's about all they're good for now.
There you go. So pretty good night of racing there, I would say. A strong field and some 3-wide racing as usual out there.
Yeah, we had a couple of complaints that it was a one-groove racetrack Saturday night, but every time I turned around or looked at Tom's photos afterwards, I see nothing but 2 3-wide racing. So
I got 2-wide here, and in the eventual winner, Raymond Nolan Jr. there in the 5 car. Brian Childress jumped into his dad's car. I guess his dad got
Brian was in his own.
Brian was in his own car. Ricky got into his dad's car, but Brian was in his own car, and probably one of Brian's best finishes of the year.
Yeah, he actually got a new motor. I do know that. He got a motor from Dale Fry, and they popped that deal in there, and Brian did a great job. I know he was struggling earlier in the year, and then he switched over to an American stock, and but was fortunate to get this motor offered to him and put it in there, and there he is, second place. So a great finish by Brian, and it was good to see Raymond Nolan Jr. back up in the winner's circle. He was in a different car. I don't know. It's not the car that he started with at the beginning of the year. I don't know if there was car trouble or whatever, but he was in a different car and put on a great race.
Perry Alderman and Chris Settlemeyer and Marcus Wankums, so familiar names up in the top 5 for that division. Then you had the late models. And as we talked a little bit about last week, this has turned into a 5-car division. And you had some side-by-side racing, but 5 cars is a heat race and a small heat race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, like we said, the late models are struggling right now. So going to have to address some stuff. Was actually on the phone yesterday with some other tracks talking about some rule packaging and, what can we do at this point? I mean, because as a business, we just can't run 5 cars.
Yeah. And you have one more race scheduled.
Yeah, we have a race in September that unfortunately I am going to cancel that because I just don't know with Cody Laney leaving and going to Boone, and he's supported all the races and we just don't know. Other racers out there just can't confirm that they're going to make it. So I don't want to struggle with it. So we're just going to toss that one away and concentrate on the Bud Nationals and finish the year with the Bud Nationals with the late models.
A great division, fast cars, but very expensive, and that's usually what happens when belts get tightened. All of a sudden, those expensive divisions, you don't have many, and mini stocks, you got 26. And it's about entertainment too.
Yeah, and I've done what I can and tried, and we can't keep supporting a 5-car field, so we're going to have to look at something different.
I gotta say you've hung in there pretty long with 5 or 6 cars. So there you have it. Cody Laney, Clay Daly, Ron Bartels, Nick Bartels, and Rick Coffey. And the next time you'll see these cars at Bakersfield Speedway will be the Bud Nationals.
Yep, the Bud Nationals.
So hopefully they'll get a good turnout there. They usually do. IMCA stock cars kind of went down from the week before. You had a big field, and then this one
it's kind of my fault on this one.
Because it was back to back.
I didn't realize that I scheduled them back to back.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those things that post promoters workshop when we're doing our scheduling, and then we come back and then we start putting schedules out, and you got to toss a few races here and there, and unfortunately I just didn't catch that. I never would have ran them back to back, but Mike Hill Jr.'s not complaining. I mean, he had back-to-back wins, so it was a good 2-week run for him. So
and that's what I thought when I saw that back-to-back, and that explains it. It's tough for these guys anymore to run back-to-back.
Yeah, and especially in a division like this is where we do count on some out-of-town cars and those guys to travel 2 weeks in a row. So, it was an oversight on our end that I scheduled them 2 weeks in a row, but they'll rebound.
Now these guys, next division up, the hardtops, they race about once every 3 or 4 weeks and put on a good show. And you had another good, you had 12 of these things late in the season. You've still got 12 of these running. And believe me, these guys race. These parts fail. They're hard to keep going. But, oops, this isn't the way you're supposed to do it. That guy's coming right at Tom there.
Yeah, these guys, like I say it every time. I mean, this is not a joke or a gimmick. These guys race these cars hard, and I appreciate the effort they put into them, and they brought a great field, and they put on a great race, and it gives you a look back into yesteryear, and they've went out and got their own sponsor for the division of Broken Yoke Cafe, so they're great bunch of guys, and they're doing a great job.
And this is early in the night, the sideways. That was James Bradburn. And that's not a fair shot because the track's pretty slippery there. That was probably hot laps.
I think they hot lap probably towards the beginning, which we use them because they have a wide tire and they're a heavier car, so they really help on packing the track.
But it's really easy to get loose there. But he had that car dialed in, a happy man there, and I believe James Bradburn is leading the points in that series. So then we'll switch up to what's coming up this weekend because it's a pretty big weekend of racing. The Mike Mosier Classic, the longtime Bakersfield Speedway announcer out there who coined many phrases in his down home style of announcing out there, and a very, very popular race for everybody at the Speedway, fans, drivers, officials.
Absolutely, the third annual Mike Moser Classic, the voice of the Speedway for 21 years, and unfortunately lost the battle of cancer. But we're fortunate to still be able to carry this race on, and we're looking forward to it. And with the modifieds, it's a twin 25, which we only do once a year, where they run 25 laps, and then we throw a yellow flag, and then they're allowed a 10-minute break. They can't leave the track. They're allowed to bring 3 crew members out and do whatever they want to the car, but they can only do it in 10 minutes. And then
so they'll fill it up. They can change a tire.
They can change tires. They can change shocks, setups, handling. They can do whatever they want to the car, but they can only do it with 3 guys and do it in 10 minutes, and the car cannot leave the track. They do it on the front straightaway so the fans can see them, and we interview the drivers and kind of get an idea of what their plan is. But I think Notorious, the winner of this race, does not do anything to his car, which is kind of interesting because a lot of them jump out there and do a ton of changes, but you hear the people that win of it, like a Bobby Hogue and those guys, they don't touch it.
Basically, it's kind of a split 50 is what it kind
basically
of is.
Split 50 gives them a little chance to,
because they have to refuel because they don't really have it.
Yeah, normally we run 30 laps, so 50 laps is quite a bit, but they put fuel in it and do a minor change. But it's cool for the fans, and we're also running sport mods. We're running the pro stocks and the American stocks, and we got some of Mike's songs out there, and there's some of the things that Mike used to do, and a great T-shirt honoring Mike. So it's a great fun event, and we're looking forward to it.
The racing starts at 7 at that, and I forgot I was going to steal a photo off your Facebook post, and I forgot to download it, put it on the slideshow. But go to the Bakersfield Speedway Speedway Facebook page and look at the trophies. They're old vintage microphones, and they're pretty cool trophies from Chris Kearns.
Right.
Put them together of the Mike Mosier Classic, and I always like the races where you have the unique trophies.
Yeah, Chris is probably one of the best at doing that, and they actually have real antique barnwood for a base, and the guy takes some metal, and they've created kind of an oil derrick off the back of them with our logo, and then Chris mounts a cool antique microphone that he finds eBay or antique shops, and it just totally represents Mike Mosier and what it's all about, and it's cool, and I know my son Brody in the American Stocks, that's all he talks about. He sees that trophy in the office that because Chris delivered him, and that's what he wants. He's looking forward to just trying to win that trophy. So it's really cool that Chris does that, and like I said, it's just one more way for us to pay homage to Mike.
Okay. I want to thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
And a good race on Saturday night. Get out there 7 o'clock at Bakersfield Speedway, the Mike Mosier Classic. That's always a good race. So we'll be back in a minute with another segment on the Baco Motorsports Power Hour.